Hi people, Chisomo Bona here and I welcome you to the class today. So in today's class, we're going to learn how to create this on Photoshop. Okay, this is really simple though. So if you follow me, I'm going to walk you through how I was able to create the masterpiece. Really easy. So just follow every process I'm going to be taking towards recreating this design and you'd be fine. Okay. So let's get right into it. First of all, I want to show us how to create a document. This is for those of us that are new to Photoshop and don't know our way around. Now, if you open Photoshop, you'd probably have you'll be welcome to this space. All right, this is exactly where you're gonna be open to. So you are probably not going to see all these designs here because of course you're new to Photoshop. The first thing you do is to go to your create new file. Then this is where you give your file a size or your document a size. All right, so here I'm going to give it wow concert. All right, concert. And then here the size I'm going to be using is 1080 by 1350. 1080, that's the width, and 1350. Then leave the settings, leave every other thing the same. Now this is a social media flyer, so this is a social media flyer, so I'm going to leave it at 300 resolutions. That's 300 dpi. You can now hit your create button. Oh, sorry, I think I used the wrong document size. 1080, I used 10,800. 1080 by 1350. Okay, 1350. 1350. Okay, wow concert. Then hit your create button. Yeah, and you have a new document. Now, for those of us that asked me how they can create an artboard, now it's still the same process. Once you are done, make sure you check this box. If you don't check this box, it will create a different document without. This is a normal document. It's not an artboard. Okay, it's not an artboard. It's a normal document, but this one is an artboard. All right. So you have to check that button before you're able to create an artboard. All right, an artboard requires that you can manipulate to any shape you want. If you want to change the shape, the size of the document, you can change it. Click here, change this one. If you want to create another one, you can select here and click plus. All right, you can still adjust it. All right, if you want something bigger, you can still do the same thing. Another way to also create a new artboard is hold down your alternate, then click on the artboard and drag. Okay, but it's a more stressful route though. Can you see that? So artboard allows you to manipulate the canvas size or the board size or the document size. So that's basically what artboard is. All right. So this is what we are going to be recreating today. All right. Let's get right into it. So this is the one we did yesterday. This is the one we are doing today. So first thing I'll do is to create a new artboard. We are going to be using this space as well. So after you're done with that, you click on the artboard 5. Then you come to your adjustment layers just below your layer panel. Come to your adjustment layer. You're going to see your solid color or gradient. We're going to be using gradient instead. We're going to click on the gradient. Now, when you click on the gradient, this is the gradient slide. Just click on it. Okay, this is the gradient slide actually. Then here, this is where we impute our color. For this one, we are going to be using a dark color, a black color. Okay, for this slide here, we are going to be using a dark blue color. So we can just take a color from here, a dark blue color. This is the color code in case you want to replicate 060E2D. So if you are new to Photoshop, color code basically allows you to use the same color I'm using. So for example, this is a different color code, but if I come here and put the color code that I just copied now, Control V, you see, it totally changes the color code I'm using. So it's 060E2D. That's the color code for this color. All right. Or hex color. You can also call it hex color. All right. Then you click on OK. Then if you notice this particular part is transparent, how do we bring back the color? What we do is to click on this slide up here, this one up here. Then you are going to see opacity. Just click on this drop down arrow and increase from here. I see the document size has been changed to blue. Then you can hit your OK and hit OK also, and you have your document color changed to a gradient color actually. All right. The next thing we're going to do is to work on the background here. So I have a font. It's not actually font. I have a background we are going to be using. Okay, I think we should work with our image first before working on the background. Let me work on my image first. This is the image we are going to be using. Yeah, this is the image we're going to be using. Just as we learned the previous day, we have to erase the background using this method. Click on select, then click on select subject. You wait for it. So it has selected and masked. Okay, it has selected the subject. Then the next thing we do is to hit our add layer mask. This one here. Click on your add layer mask. Immediately the background will be removed. Then you double click on the layer mask you just created. It's going to take you to where you select a mask. All right. If your own is not like this, if the subject is still not like this, you can increase transparency, or you can either reduce it any one you want. Then come down to decontaminate colors. Just that's the only thing you have to do here. Click on decontaminate colors, because we want to remove, we needed to see the difference before and after. Before and after. Don't worry about the remaining particles that are yet to be removed. We are going to work on it later. All right, we're going to work on them later. So backspace, hit your backspace to delete this one, then convert this one to a smart object. So leave it like this. Do not adjust the size. We are going to leave it like this for now though. For now. Then you come here, hit your add layer, add a new layer. Like we want to create a new layer, so you hit your create new layer here. You can rename it to background brush layer. Background brush layer. All right. Then come here, hit your brush tool here. When you hit your brush tool, you have to turn off the caps lock here. The caps lock, I had to turn off the caps lock because I needed to see the size of my brush. All right. If you want to adjust the size of your brush, you can hit your control, then right click and drag. Hold down your alternate, sorry, not your control. Hold down your alternate, right click and drag. All right. That's how to adjust your brush size. If you right click and drag to the left or to the right instead, you are increasing the size. If you drag to the left, you are reducing the size. That's how it works. All right. So I want to make sure the color is black. If you want to pick a color, hold down your alternate, then pick any color that you want to pick. All right. So this is what I expect you to do. Just something like this. That's for my background layer. All right. Then the next thing we will do is to add the text. I don't know if you can see this text, this wow text here. So that's the next text we are going to add. So the name of the font we used is Bison. So take your text tool, come here and write. Okay, when you paste it, let's change the color to black or to white instead, because right now it's black. Then we come to new power. We come to the font. We change the font to Bison. That's the name of the font we are going to be using. So we now write wow. Change the text to wow. Adjust the size. Increase the size well enough. Increase the size well enough. All right. Then you can change the color to this. Now this is the color code just in case you want to work with exactly the colors I'm working with. Change the color to 3FGE double F. 3FGE double F. That's the color we are going to be using. So change the color to that. 3F 3F9. It's actually 9, not G. 3F9 E double F. 3F9 E double F. All right. So the next thing we are going to do is now to properly work on the background. Or instead, oh, we have not fully edited our thing. Sorry. I need to attend to something shortly. So once you're done with this, you come here and convert this text to a smart object. So right click and hit your smart object. When you do that, you come to filter, then come to distort. Right? Should we use distort? Yeah, let's use distort. Come to distort, then click on share. Come to distort and click on share. So move this line to your right. Yeah, move the line to your right a little bit. It should give you something like this. Want to distort it further. Yeah, something like this. Exactly. You can then increase the size. Then leave it here. It should be here. All right. We are going to. I need us to edit this smart object. I need to remove the line spacing. The line spacing between the text are too much, or between the letters that form the word are too much. So we want to edit it. For us to edit, because it's a smart object, it's easy to edit. So just double click on the layer. You're going to see the text here. Come here to properties and reduce the line spacing. It's already -20, make it -40. Then hit your Ctrl S to save the smart object. Then exactly, I prefer it this way. Then what you do is to click and hold, then drag it to the back of the image or the subject you are working with. Then also drag it down a little bit. Yeah, it should give you something like this. We are not done. We are not done. You come over here to filter, change the color to Gaussian blur. Change the blur. Okay, sorry, I meant blur. Blur reduce. Yeah. Go to filter, go to blur, go to Gaussian blur. All right. Then reduce the Gaussian blur to 6.2, give or take, something like that. You OK it, and then you lock your layer to avoid moving the layer. All right. The next thing we'll do is to introduce our background. So I have some backgrounds here that I would like to use. First is this background here. Yeah. I don't know. I fell in love with this background when I was working on this design. So this background here. So, but we are not going to leave it like this. I actually do not like it like this. So because of that, and I'm going to change let me blend it. I don't like the fact that the color is like this. Okay. I'm going to change the blend mode to screen. to give it a little bit of blue. I attached a little bit of blue to it. Can you see? It changed from the color it was to blue. See how it was before? I had to take it to screen. All right. But we're not going to leave it like this. We are still going to touch it a little bit. Want to revamp it. This is a church background, a concert background. So I have to introduce it. And I need it to be here. Yeah, something like this. Now I'll also take it to the back, drag it to the back. Then create a layer mask. Create a layer mask here. On top of this, make sure you have selected the background you just introduced. By the way, I'll send all the resources we need for this design to us. Make sure you have introduced or you have selected your background. All right, then you click on add layer mask here. Click on add layer mask. Carry your eraser tool. This is your eraser tool. Then increase the size. I'm holding down my alternate. Right click and drag. Can you see that our brush is hard brush? So this is the kind of effect it will give our design. So because it's a hard brush, so what do we do to make it a soft brush? Right click and then increase or reduce the hardness to 0. Right click and increase the hardness to 0. Then you can now brush, just brush through it. Just something like this. Something not too much. Yeah, something not too much. Yeah, something exactly like this. Then you lock it. Immediately you are done with this, you come here. We want to change this color to blue. It's not very blue, it's blue, but I don't like the blue, so I want to change it further to blue, like a good blue color. So I'm going to come to color balance here. No, instead of color balance, let me use saturation. Then when you use saturation, what you do for me is to click on your colorize. Click on your colorize. Make sure you've clip masked. Okay, you want to make sure that this color balance is only affecting this subject. Okay, it's only affecting this background here, so we have to clip mask it on top of the subject. All right, then from here we now drag this and find a suitable blue color. Increase the saturation. Want to find a suitable blue color. Yeah, this is okay. So this is it before and after. Before and after. I think it's too blue. So let me reduce my saturation a little bit. Yeah. It was too blue before. Okay, this works. If there is need for further adjustment, we're going to do that later. Then the next thing I'm going to do is on top of this hue and saturation that you created, on top of, okay, not on top of the hue and saturation, on top of this wow, can you see? Can you see that all the backgrounds are below this wow? They are all below this wow here. So on top of this wow, just select the wow, that's the text you distorted. Then click on add layer, add new layer. This is the new layer here. Click on it. Want to change the layer to brush. Just change it to blue brush. Change the name or rename it. If you don't know how to do that, just double click. Double click on the name. It will give you option to edit it. If you don't want to do that, you can, I think if you right click, you should be able to find rename here. Is there rename here? Just carefully search. That's not something important that we should spend our time on. Okay, so right now we want to, let me turn off my caps lock. Let me adjust my brush size. I want to create a new brush here, like something like this. Okay, but the color has to, at the back of the image we are using, the color has to be blue. All right, so hold down your alternate to pick a color. Then click on your foreground color here and adjust it to a lighter blue color. Then you now apply it here. All right, something like this. No, I don't like it. I don't like the blue. I don't like the blue. Let's make it this blue. Yeah, this is better. This works better for me. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So, oh, sorry. I did not intend to do that. So we now have something like this. This is the before, and after. So we are almost done with our design. I don't mean that. Okay. So from here now, we can decide to our image is not properly edited. So we want to edit our image properly. So click on the image, come to filter, come to camera, raw filter. Then here we are going to edit our image. So come to light, increase the highlight, add contrast a little bit, take down the shadow. I think this is okay, this works. Then details, sharpen the image, then effects, add texture, add clarity. Is there another thing we can add? Color. I don't know. Just add a little bit of vibrance. Just a little bit, please. Shouldn't be much. Then you okay it. Yeah. Before and after, before and after. So the next thing we are going to do is to work on the text since we have gotten our background ready. So we want to now work on the text. It's very easy. It's part of the things we learned yesterday, how to manipulate the text. All right. So this should be wow. If you want to highlight everything, Control A highlights everything. Then you want to increase the size, something like this. Wow, but it's too much. Now I have noticed that the image and everything needs to be dragged up. I don't like the fact that everything needs to be dragged up. So leaving aside the background, I'm going to drag this image here, this brush here, sorry, this brush here, and our image. I'm going to drag the three of them up. Something like this. I think this works better. Yeah, I think this works better. All right. Then from here, we can come here and increase our brush. I want to, oh, sorry, it should be a dark black brush. Yeah, better. So the wow, I want to drag it down a little bit. Let me lock this one so that I don't move it. Something like this. Yeah. So wow, contact. Now for the manipulation I did on the wow, it's very simple. So the first thing we are going to do is to curve this part so we can convert this to a smart object. When you convert it to a smart object, click on Ctrl T. You are going to see this tool here. This is called a warp tool. A warp tool. So just click on it. When you click on it, from here, click on this anchor point here. From this anchor point, drag down. Just drag down a little bit. Also click on this anchor point, drag down a little bit. This okay, this part is not, this is the anchor point here. This part is just the handle that controls the anchor point. All right. So just holding this angle, drag down a little bit. Want to manipulate the text using a warp tool. All right. Then when you are done, just hit your OK. I think this works. No, I think it's too much. Is it too much? Can we work with this? Uh, uh, is it too much? Yeah, I think it's too much. Please, let's go over that again. I think it's too much for me. I don't really like it. Control T, click on the warp tool. Then with this handle, drag it down a little bit. Drag this one down also a little bit. Yeah. Then you hit your OK here. Yeah, this works. This works. Then the next thing we are going to do is the text is too long. It will not, because of it, because it's too long. We are not going to, or it's not going to accommodate the rest of them. All right. So, what we do in this particular situation is to use this rectangular marquee tool. It's called the rectangular marquee tool. We want to make a selection here. So make a selection. Just drag this thing up. Make a selection here using your rectangular marquee tool. Then when you've made your selection, hit your layer mask, add layer mask. Okay, sorry, we did it wrongly. So Control D to deselect. This is how we make the selection from here to here. All right. So that's how to make your selection. All right. Wow, we've gotten our wow. Then the next thing is concert. Concert. Highlight everything, Control A. Change the color to white. Now I'm still going to teach you how to create two colors. Okay, because the wow has two colors. So for this one, reduce it as much as possible. So it should be something like this. You know, the truth is that we can actually leave this like this. I feel like I prefer it like this. But then, because I want to exactly show us all the process I went through to be able to arrive at the result I sent to our group, which is this particular one, I'm going to have to show us how I was able to create this. It's still the same process though. It's actually still the same process. So what I'm going to do is for this one, convert it to a smart object too. Or instead, let's not convert it to a smart object. Let's just apply the marquee tool like that. Okay, the rectangular marquee tool like that. Then let's make the selection. Then hit your add layer mask. All right. So because of this thing now, you can easily still, the amazing thing is that you can easily still edit the text. All right. And it will still have the same effect. So that's the beautiful thing about this. All right. So we have concert here. We now have another shape, another box here. I created another box here. A box like this. So for this box, I'm going to change the color to blue. Then I'm going to also come to stroke here and give it a blue color and change it to 2 pixels. Then I'll come to this one. I'll change it to this stroke, this particular stroke. I need a dotted stroke. Then I'll come here to dash. I'll change it to 100. All right, I'll come to dash here and change it to 100. I'll come here to this one and change it to just 10. Let's see if it will work. Then I'll come to fill color, reduce the color, just reduce it well enough to maybe like 3, 4, or 5, anyone. Something like this. Okay, something like this is giving. I love it. Oof. See how beautiful the stroke color is. I'm not a fan. Sorry, I'm not a fan of the color. I want to change the color to something, another blue, another shade of blue, something like this that is brighter. Exactly. Ooh, see how beautiful the design is coming out to look. So the next thing we are going to do is to properly now edit this one. All right. So for us to do that, what we are going to do is to convert this to rasterize this layer. I want to rasterize this wow layer. So just right click on it, then click on rasterize layer. All right. Then use your click and hold. All right. Click and hold. You are going to see this option, elliptical marquee tool. That's what we are going to use for our selection this time around. Select or make this kind of selection. Make a selection like this. Once you are done, hit your Ctrl J. Ctrl J to copy the selection you made. Ctrl J to copy the selection you made. Then we are going to change the color. Let's borrow the color from this one. For this one here, we are going to change the color. Double click on this to bring out layer style. Double click on it to bring out the layer style. Then click on color. We can even work with this. This is beautiful. Let me see if it's something I want to work with. No. It's beautiful, but then I don't think I want to work with it. So double click again. Select color. Click on this color here. Then pick the color you want to use for your design. Then for this one that is down here, double click on it as well. Pick your color overlay. Then select this color. Now, please, I'm going to give you the color codes now. Okay, I'm going to give you this is the color code for this color. Double F C974 or 974. That's the color code for this one, or hex color for this one. Then for this one, this is the color code double F A600. Double F A600. That's the color code. All right. I don't like the fact that this color is not visible at all. So we are going to leave it at 10. 10 works. Then for this one, I'm going to reduce it a little bit. Yeah, this works for me. So we can now hide this one back again. Then we can come here and write a worship concert experience. Oh, the size is too much. Well, let's reduce the size. Reduce it. Then we are going to be using Montserrat. If you don't have Montserrat, go to googlefont.com or font.google.com. That's where you get Montserrat, or even dafont.com, dafont.com. A worship, make sure your caps lock is on. A worship experience, have you? A live worship experience. Let me use a live worship experience. Don't worry, you're not seeing it now. When I'm done, I'll still reduce the size. Control A to highlight all of them. Then reduce the size from here. Experience. Then drag it inside of the box that we have already. Then reduce the size. Take your time. Reduce the size. Woo! See our beautiful design. All right. So all that is left for us to do now is okay. No, that's not all that is left. Let's add the whole icons I added. All those 3D icons. Let me come to my designs, my 3D icons. These are my resources though. Then this is a live service. So oh wow, the thing is at the back. So we are going to drag it up. Yeah. Why are you at the back? Come over here, Joe. Why are you running away? So this one has to be here. This one has to be here. Now, what we are going to do with this one, if you notice the kind of effect I created, it's a blur effect. For this one, it's a blur effect, but it's a motion blur effect. So I'll come to filter, I'll come to blur, I'll come to motion blur. Change it to 48. Now I want to also change the direction. No, it's too much. Yeah, this is okay. Change it to 26. Sorry, not 48. Change it to 26. The angle or the distance is 155. Can you see? It increases and it causes a lot of disturbances in my own opinion. 152. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it works for me though. It works. Then you can copy it. Now, if you want to, the easiest way to do that is just to hold down your alternate, click and drag to copy, okay, or to duplicate. All right. So we want to change this motion blur. We want to edit this motion blur. We want to add a Gaussian blur instead. For us to do that, just carry it. Just hold down your motion blur, drag it, and delete here. That's how to do that. That's how to delete it. Then reduce the size. Come over here and choose Gaussian blur. Yeah, 6.2 is okay. Just something very light. Mhm. Now you can also add Facebook icon too. I added Facebook icon here. I think I believe I did. Yeah. So I want to lock some of these layers because I want to be able to move. Okay, even the image layer too. I want to lock it. I want to be able to move my text layer. Okay. I haven't gotten this. The next thing we are going to do is to add our social media icon. So here, what you are going to do for me is to write your CFY. So Y is YouTube icon, F is Facebook icon, and C is Instagram icon. Now, there is a font that converts these three text here to font, or to, no, not font, to icons. The name of the font is Font 100 icon. Font 100 icon. See it here. Font 100 icon. Font 100 icons. All right. So you can get this font on dafont.com. 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 That's where you are going to see this icon to download. All right. Go to properties, reduce it to 0. All right. So we want to leave this one here. So you see, our design is ready. Now, what I'm going to do is to do color balance, because if you notice, this color, see how this one is very blue and the colors are matched together. So I've not done that here. That's the last thing I usually do in my designs. So, but before I do that, let me teach us how to make this glue I have here. All these glues I have here. So it's very simple. Very, very simple actually. So look for your subject in your layer panel. This is my subject here. Click on it. Then add new layer here. Click on add new layer or create new layer. All right. Then clip mask the layer on the subject. Clip mask the layer on the subject. Clipping mask. Then select your brush to reduce the size well enough, please. Reduce the size well enough. Reduce the size. For this one, the size should not be too small though. Now I'm going to pick this color. I'm going to make it look as if the light from here is dropping on his shoulders, even his neck or the back of his neck. All right. So that's what I want to do now to make it look as if the light here. So for me to do that, of course, I need to use this color here. Okay, because we cannot have a peach. This is a peach color. We cannot have a peach color here and we are having a yellow color here. It doesn't work like that. All right. So let me drag this up to give it the brightest color. So just do something like this. Can you see that? Make sure it's clip masked. Okay, because this is a mistake a lot of us will make. Make sure you clip mask it. All right. Then once you are done with this, you create another layer. Create another layer. Also clip mask it. Clip mask it on top of this layer too. All right. Clip mask it. Then for here, we are going to now reduce the size of our brush. Reduce the size of your brush well enough. Yeah. Then come to your foreground color here. Increase this, make it brighter. Increase it, make it brighter. Then of course, zoom in. So if you want to zoom in, use your zoom tool to zoom in if you're not using your mouse. If you're using your mouse, you can just hold down your alternate and then scroll up. If you scroll up to zoom in, if you scroll down, you zoom out. All right. So reduce the size more. Then apply this other lighter color on the tips. Okay, please, it shouldn't be much. Be very gentle. Be very, very gentle. It shouldn't be much. So it should give you something like this. Ooh, can you see that? Can you see that? It's very nice, Abby. So this one, this particular one, we now change the color to blend to screen. The blend mode to screen. Change the blend mode to screen. This is it before, and this is it after. Change the blend mode to screen. Now, this is the same thing we are going to do for this side. This is going to be blue because this color here is like stage light is also touching here. Even this part too, stage light is touching, but I don't want to really touch this part. It's going to be a lot of work for us this night. All right, so let's just use this part. Let's make this part glue as well. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to create new layers. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to just use this layer. This is the first layer we created. First layer, the darker shade of blue. All right. So we are going to come here. This is the color, this is the blue we are going to use, but let's add it a little bit, add to it a little bit. Then select back your brush tool, increase the size, of course, shouldn't be much. Then do the same thing you did before. This is the first layer. Then the next one, which is this one, reduce the size of your brush, reduce it well enough. Then come here, pick this color, lighter blue. Then apply it carefully. Shouldn't, oh shit, it shouldn't be much. Control Z. Shouldn't be much, please. I made it too much before. That was why I erased it. Can you see that? Now I can come here and do this like this. Can you see that? It's looking really nice. See before, this is after, before, after. All right. So we have almost come to the end. The very last thing we are going to do is to color balance. All right. It's just the sibling of color grading. All right. So once you are done, just click here, click on your adjustment layer, click on this particular one, click on color balance. All right. Now you don't have to go through the stress of don't clip mask. Please make sure you do not clip mask. All right. Then you now change to a blue color, a proper blue color. I want to add a bit of purple to it. This for mid-tones. You can come highlight. Highlight is the white part of this design. You don't want to add so much blue. So I'm just going to use this cyan for it. Then shadows. Then you can now add blue to the shadow. Just, it shouldn't be much, please. Shouldn't be much. You're just doing a little bit of color grading. All right. So this is it before. This is it after. This is it before. This is it after. This is it before. This is it after. So that's how to create a beautiful design like this. So once you're done, you can take a snapshot of the design. Control Shift Alternate E. Control Shift Alternate E to take a snapshot of the design. This is it here. You can change it to Wow Concert. Wow Concert. Now, here's what we are going to do. I want to brighten up this design. So here's one tip I'm going to give you. If you want to do that, it's very simple. So with this now, convert it to Smart Object. Then come to your filter here, create blur, Gaussian blur. All right. Then increase the size of the Gaussian blur. Increase it until it forms a gradient. All right. It's too much. Increase it until something like this. Then come here and change it to color dodge. All right. Change the blend mode to color dodge. So after you're done with that, come to fill color and reduce the fill color. Can you see? how we just brightened up the design. Before, after, before, after, before, after. Now, if you notice something, it has changed the color of our text. And I don't like that. That is the only thing I don't like. Every other thing is perfect. But the fact that the color of our text has been changed, I don't like it. So what do I do? I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something not nice. Yes. So just lock it. All right. Then look for our text. Let's look for our text. This is our text here. The wow. This is the only thing we want to correct. This wow. These two colors here. So we want them to remain the same. So what we are going to do is to drag them up. Click here, click on this one, hold down your shift and click on this one too. Then to select the both of them, then drag them up, drag them up. It should be on top of the layer, exactly, on top of this layer now. So you see, our text have come back to their normal colors. Yeah, this is the only thing I wish to change. Other things are okay the way they are. Wow, what a beautiful masterpiece. Then you can now take another snapshot. Control Shift Alternate E. This is the final project. Or we can also take it to camera raw though to add a little bit of things to it. Now this wow console, let me just copy it and paste. Control V. Make sure you convert it to a smart object. All right. Then come to filter, come to camera raw. Then take a good look at your masterpiece or the masterpiece you just created. Effect, add a little bit of texture. The thing shouldn't be much because the image is already, the editing of the image is already too much. All right. Clarity, just a little bit, tiny. Then light, highlight, increase it a little bit, just small, because of course we've done a lot of editing already. Contrast, yes, add contrast. Shadow, reduce it a little bit, just everything should be in very tiny quantity, in very tiny quantity. All right, you don't have to add, you don't, there's no point adding the grains, please. All right, you don't need to touch your colors too, no. Then you okay it. So this is the finished product. This is before, this is after. Then you hold down your right click and click on export image, export, quick export as PNG. No, then we can change the, let's add 5 to it. Okay, so we have exported it. Now after you are done, you can send it to the group as submission. All right, so I'm waiting to see the masterpiece you would create using this video. All right,